As you can see here, I'm getting set up for my podcast. If you have been following me on Facebook, you know that I am going to start doing a podcast. So hopefully that'll be up in a couple days here. It should be kind of a longer format than my YouTube videos. And I'll be able to kind of expound more on a lot of the questions that people have. You should be able to download the podcast and listen to it, I don't know, in the car on the way to work or while you're jogging. This morning I got up at 5:30 and went running and listened to some guy blather on about photography. Probably not the best thing to do while you're running, but you know, maybe during your drive to work. And so in this video I just want to answer a couple of questions that I will probably talk more about in my first podcast in a couple days, but I want to get some answers out there real quick. The first question that I want to talk about is from a Canon user. This gentleman has a Canon 40D with a 50mm f1.8 lens, a EFS 17-55mm f2.8 lens, and an EF 70-200 IS f4 lens. So he seems to be using his 50mm lens the most, which I don't blame him, because it's kind of fun to have a prime lens on your camera because you just pew pew pew, you know, shoot your pictures and you know you're done. You can do whatever cropping that you want in post production. But he's thinking about upgrading. His options, as he sees them, are 1, to sell everything and purchase a Canon 5D Mark II and a 50mm f1.2 lens. His second option is to only sell the body and the 70-200 IS f4 lens and upgrade the body to a Canon 7D and replace the 70-200 IS f4 lens with a 70-200 f2.8 lens with no IS. Now, I don't really know what he's using his equipment for. It could just be snapshots or it could be professional, you know, use. But in my opinion, I would do nothing. I would simply use what you have, because the camera body is a good body and the lenses are, in my opinion, the right lenses to have. It's a good set of lenses. You've got the prime lens, the 50mm, which obviously he likes because he's using it the most, and the 17-55, which gives you a good wide angle, and it gets you in a little bit closer if you want. And then the 70-200, which gets you in, you know, much closer. So, you know, in my opinion, those are good, the good 3 lenses to have if you're only going to have 3 lenses, and the body's a good body. So, the reason that I wouldn't upgrade the body right now is because he would have to sell some lenses to get the upgraded body. And really, bodies kind of, they come and go. They get upgraded so fast that in a couple years, he's gonna want a new body. And he's not gonna have all the lenses all the lens flexibility that he had previously, because he would have gotten rid of, you know, them to get the upgraded body to begin with. So, while it's always great to have an upgraded body, I would stick with what you have. Unless there's some shortcoming in the body that you've come across, I would stick with it. Keep the lenses, because they're not going to go bad. They're going to last forever. And just hold on to everything. If there is, you know, a certain body that you're really wanting, just put some money aside, you know, every month or whatever, and save up for it, and just buy it without having to sell any of your lenses. That's just my opinion. The next question I have to talk about today is about the Nikon 70-200 VR f2.8 lens and the 1.7x teleconverter, and how they work with the Nikon D300S. Now, it's an awesome lens. It is fantastic in low light situations because it goes down to f2.8. It also makes it even better on the D300S because the D300S is really good in low light situations. So these two pieces work really well together. The 1.7x teleconverter is great. It is a little soft at the wider apertures, but if you can get up to f8, it's crisp. But I don't use it all that often. So I'll go into more depth about these items in the podcast, but hopefully that gives you an idea of how it all works together. The last question I'm going to talk about today is from a brand new D300S user. Woo-woo! Congratulations on your D300S. I hope you love it as much as I do. This person shot a ton this weekend. He went to a motorcycle race, and he rented actually a 70 to 200 lens, just like I have here. And he wants to do some batch editing to his photos. So he wants to know what software he should use. In my opinion, and as anyone knows who watches my videos, I really like getting good bang for my buck. If I can get something that's going to solve more than one problem for me, I am all about it. So with that, I would suggest getting Nikon's own Capture NX2 software, because there's two reasons. One, I would suggest getting that because it's great for batch editing. You can actually change almost any detail about the photos and apply it to a whole folder of images, and that's fantastic. And two, if you ever do shoot in RAW, or if you plan to shoot in RAW, there is really no better software to edit RAW photos that come from a Nikon camera than the Nikon software. So I think you're killing two birds with one stone by getting that software. So that's what I suggest. So make sure you keep an eye out for my podcast. You can either look on Facebook, make sure you add me, I am Snapchick, or check out my website, snapchick.com, and that's where you'll actually find the podcast. And in the podcast, again, I'm just going to try and answer as many questions as I can.